Welcome back to Kid Chef. Now today is Mother's Day. My brother's got my mom cooped up in her room so that I can cook up an amazing, insane Kid Chef breakfast. We're going to start with some biscuits. We've got a sifter over our bowl, and we've got 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Give that a good sift. This is how you sift it. You may remember this from the cupcakes episode I did. Just bang it against your hand lightly so that it falls out. Kind of like snow. Next, we got 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Today we're not using baking soda. We're only using powder. Give that a nice sift. This is kind of like the salt. The granules are a little big. So when we're done, we're just going to dump it all out. We've got 2 tablespoons of regular granulated sugar. As you can see, the baking powder is still in there. And lastly, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Like the baking powder, the granules are a little big for the sifter, so just dump it in. Now just give that a quick stir, make sure it's all in there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Team Dry. Next, we've got 3/4 cup of cooked mashed sweet potatoes. If you want to, you can get it from a can. That's optional, but if you want to go homemade, you can do that too. Get all the potatoes out of there. It's pretty sticky stuff. And then 1 stick of good old unsalted butter. Incorporate that.
Go ahead.
As you can see, the wooden spoon cannot do this job, so I've got a mashed potato masher. Just push it down, and it'll mash that butter and the sweet potatoes. Get all that in there. It can clump up, so we got wooden spoon again. Get all this stuff out of spoons. And then keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, we've got that mashed and incorporated, so now we use the wooden spoon again to incorporate the 2 mixtures. Once again, get everything in there. All the sweet potatoes. Sweet potato biscuits involve sweet potatoes, so we gotta have all of them. And just incorporate that however you want. Mix it, fold it. It would be pretty messy, but you can knead it also. Just get it all in there. Now that our biscuit dough is now a soft dough consistency, we can turn it out onto our workspace. Get a lot of flour on your hands, on the dough, on the board. This is really sticky stuff. So just knead it out until it's like smooth. I'm really sorry about that. I did not say the right thing. Actually, with biscuit dough, it's very, very delicate, so just make it into a ball and then just pat it out. Just get it all flattened and pat it out. You also want to work the edges of the dough. Since, as you see here, I've already worked the center. So just get the edges together Don't pat it out too thin though. Normally, for this job, we would call for a biscuit cutter. I happen to not have one at the moment, so you can use a nice glass bowl. Make sure that if you do use a glass bowl, that you have the rim floured. And you just push it down, twist it a little, and boom, biscuit. And make sure your glass bowl is floured on the rim. This will probably be our last biscuit in this batch. Boom. Now that we've got all of our biscuits, we can proceed to the cookie sheet. As you can see, we've got a nice big cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. What we're going to do here is we're going to put down a biscuit. And right here I've got 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So just glaze the top of each biscuit with some butter. Go kind of light on the butter. These are so good, you don't need very much. No pun intended. Get all, just a little bit of butter over the top. As you can see, this recipe made 7 biscuits, but if you use like a smaller cutter, it'll probably make more. Just depends on that. Now that they're all buttered, and put on my oven mitts, so I can put these biscuits in the oven, 425 degrees on a middle rack. Right in. Middle rack, very important. And now we set the timer for 15 minutes. Go look at our biscuits. Whoa, take a look at that. These are pretty good. Let's check the bottom. Perfect. So just be careful taking them out. Also, I've got some turkey bacon going. For all those pork lovers out there, you can use regular chicken. I just don't like pork in breakfast.
Okay.
You can see I've got a pan with some margarine, but if you want to, you can use butter for all those butter lovers out there. Get all that swirled around the pan. And here I've got 4 eggs. I'm going to beat these a little bit so the yolks are broken, kind of like this. Get all that broken up. There you go. Now that our eggs are ready, let's put in our vegetables first. We got some chopped white onion. You can use any type of onion except for green, but I like white because it tenderizes very nicely. Give that a stir. Let those cook until they're like brown around the edges. And during that little time frame, just give it some salt and pepper. So, a little bit of salt, a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. I like it fresh.
Okay, I stop.
The onions are starting to brown around the edges, so we'll drop the heat a little bit and add 2 cloves of minced garlic. We're dropping the heat a little bit because garlic cooks a lot faster than the onions do. So we don't want the garlic to burn. Just cook that for a couple minutes. Man, that's it. Onions and garlic are nice and cooked. We're going to add our 4 eggs. Just let these cook for a second. When you see white around the edges, push the white back and then tilt the pan so the yellow can get in there. Eggs cook faster around the edges of the pan when you're doing this. So this is how you get everything cooked.
Okay, I'm stopping it.
Our eggs are nice and cooked. We're going to break them up with our silicone spatula until all the eggs are nice pieces. Let's get everything out. If you wanted to make an omelet, however, you wouldn't be cutting it up like this. But we're not making that. And now we kill the heat. Season, salt and pepper, or pepper and salt. And this is an optional step, cheese. I like to use Monterey Jack, but we're out of that, so I'm using mozzarella. Nice and cheesy. And since we killed the heat of the pan is just going to melt the cheese really nicely. Now that we've got all our components together, we can start assembling the sliders. If you remember from the episode I did with my history teacher, I've got some of his marmalade right here. It's an optional step. First, we're going to get some eggs. Get all that in there. You can decide how much you want in there. Next, we got the bacon. And the marmalade goes right on the other biscuit. Spread that around. Boom! Kid Chef breakfast. Hey, Mom! This is my mom, and she's been filming all my episodes, besides this one.
Wow, it looks amazing.
This is a Kid Chef breakfast slider. It's eggs with onions and garlic, mozzarella cheese, some turkey bacon, homemade sweet potato biscuits, and some Gypsy Rose lemon marmalade.
Oh my gosh, it smells amazing.
And some fresh OJ.
Wow, you made this. Should I take a bite?
Yeah, you have to take a bite. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's incredible. The biscuit is so light and fluffy and sweet, and the smokiness from the bacon and the eggs have so much flavor. That is amazing.
Thanks, Mom.
Wow, the perfect Mother's Day brunch. I love it.
Happy Mother's Day. And we'll see you next time on
Thank
Kid
you.
Chef.